Lost River Cave, Kentucky. Wow.
Not what I expected.
Alright, so my name is Drew. I am going to be y'all's tour guide today. Y'all are a little crazy for being here this early. I had to be forced to wake up this early, so. I am also a student at Western Kentucky University right down the road. I'm a computer science major, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing out here. Yeah, I am from Bowling Green though, grew up like 2 miles down the road, so I've been here too many times to count. School field trips, all that fun stuff as a kid. Do we have anybody from Bowling Green? That's how it always goes. Anybody from Kentucky? Wow. Okay, so besides Kentucky, we do have 3 states that we get the most amount of people from, or at least that I've noticed. So do we have anybody from Tennessee? A couple back there. All right. What about Ohio? I was gonna say we don't need them, but you're here. I'll take it. Anybody from Michigan? Every time. Don't know why. Every time though. Anybody think they're from the farthest away? Florida?
Minnesota.
Minnesota? All right. Can anybody beat either of those?
Nope.
I'll take it. Who's from Minnesota? Y'all, I would like you to know, one day I had a man from the Czech Republic. It was just me and him on tour, and he's been to 42 states. And he said, y'all are the nicest. So
It's a lie.
It's not. It's a lie. Hey, he wasn't very talkative, and he said y'all were the nicest. So I take that as a compliment. He hasn't been too far south though, so I'll talk to him in a couple weeks. We are just gonna walk right down here. He ain't even been to Alaska and Hawaii. He hasn't been to like the Carolinas, Florida. I told him he probably shouldn't go to Florida. Who is from Florida? Sorry. What? I love Florida. It's great. It's a great place.
It's warm.
Yeah, it is warm. Big old spider web. Alabama, all right. Believe it or not, I have had someone from every state. I kept tally for a while until I got them all. I think the one I've had the least of is Hawaii and South Dakota, or either Dakotas. Nobody's from there.
Truth.
Yeah. All right. So this right here, this is our blue hole. If anybody is wondering where the water comes from, it's a spring. We are the lowest point for about 55 square miles. So anytime the city of Bowling Green does get any rain, just like a bathtub, kitchen sink, it all flows down here into this right here. But this is the 4th blue hole that we do have. So that water, when it comes down here, goes into the ground, pops up for the first time on the other side of our property, flows about 10 feet over, goes down again, and from there kind of slithers like a snake up and down, and goes in here for the 4th and final time, then flows directly into our cave, and from the cave it goes into Jennings Creek in downtown Bowling Green, and then the Barren River, then the Mississippi, and in about 3 weeks or 19 days, that water right there is going to be in the Gulf of Mexico. So if anybody wants a cheap trip to Florida, Dollar General has some floaties. Hop in. I might need some snacks. It'll be a while. 3 weeks. Yeah, so if anybody's wondering how our blue hole gets its color, as that water flows down here, it flows through limestone. And limestone has a lot of something called calcite. Calcite is primarily blue or white. The white doesn't show up very much. The blue does. And that is what gives our water its blue color. As y'all get a little bit farther down, when the water gets a lot more shallow, it's mostly clear. You don't see the blue too much, but since there's a lot of it right here, you can see it. If y'all would have came here last week, I would have been calling this Willy Wonka's River. Got a lot of mud stirred up. Looked like chocolate. Yeah. Welcome to Lost River Cave, everybody. This is one of the largest natural cave openings east of the Mississippi River. That just means there's never been any dynamite or mining out of our opening to make it larger than it is, which is over 150 feet wide. So I know it's not too hot out yet, but did anybody happen to feel the cool breeze when you walk down here? If you didn't, you'll feel it in the cave, promise. That cool breeze back in the 1930s did make us the perfect place to have a nightclub. We were a jazz nightclub back then, and one of the only ones in the United States that could advertise air conditioning. Wasn't a thing yet, so we were cool, I know. We also do host weddings here now. That is what's kind of set up over there. The first wedding was held in 1934, and we have been holding them ever since. There were a couple gaps in there, but for the most part, ever since. But eventually, our nightclub did have to close down. If anybody drove here on I-65, pretty main road, when that road was built, it did take all the traffic away from the road up top. We lost our customers. Without customers, you can't really have a nightclub. Wouldn't be too fun. Two guys down here, just be kind of embarrassing. Yeah. So our nightclub did have to close, and eventually, after it did, this area in the cave and surrounding it became Kentucky's largest illegal landfill. So people would back their cars up to the top of the cave. They would drop anything from kitchen sinks, washers and dryers, bathtubs, an entire Volkswagen Beetle off the top. Yeah, fun stuff, right? And was anybody from Tennessee? I think we had one person maybe. All right. So I don't know if she knows, but in 2010, y'all had a big flood. Tennessee had a real big flood. And we also got that flood. Something like that does happen every 100 years. And when we got it, it reached that second rock up there with the tree sticking out of it. And every 20 years, we get a flood a little bit smaller, but still pretty big. It reaches a little bit lower than the top of this building. So when that flood did happen, when we were that landfill, it washed most of the trash inside the cave. And because this does flow into downtown Bowling Green, it caused us some problems. So we had to clean it up. It did take us about 10 years of almost entirely volunteer efforts, but we did get it clean eventually. And after that, about 55 tons of trash was tallied up. So 110,000 pounds was inside the valley and the cave. Pretty hard to imagine that much junk down here. But as y'all can tell, we're fairly clean. I like to think so. And after our cave cleanup though, a group called the Friends of Lost River was formed. And they are the non-profit organization that has been maintaining the cave and the valley ever since. So thank you all for buying your tickets. It goes right back into the cave cleanup. I think that deserves a round of applause, doesn't it? Yeah. If you don't clap, we're not going to the cave. Everybody better clap. All right. Didn't want to call anybody out. Everybody's got to clap. So before we do go inside, I think we only have one person. Who here is 12 years old and under? I figured. Yeah, so Kentucky state law does say that if you are 12 years old and under, you do have to wear a life jacket. It's a law. I wish I could change them. I'm sorry. I can't swim though, so I probably need one too. Yeah. Everybody else though, on the boat, we will have a flotation device for you. It's also your seat cushion. If you fall in, I or somebody else throw it at you. Try to grab it across your chest, look up the ceiling, let your legs float up a little bit. We'd all laugh, take some pictures. It's pretty funny. First person to fall in. Besides the tour guide, we've fallen in before, multiple occasions. Now, after we are done laughing and taking pictures though, I will just tell you to stand up, because the water's about 3 feet deep. So everybody's gonna make it out, wet or dry, I promise. Hopefully dry. Hopefully. You never know. Yeah, so also, once we are in the cave, there is only one rock you are allowed to touch. We are gonna have to duck under it for about 20 seconds, and if you don't believe me, look at my hat. I hit my head so many times, there's like brown spots. One of my other hats has a hole in it. It's great. So you gotta duck, start stretching. Also, there is no smoking or vaping in the cave. It damages our ceiling, so please don't do it. And the most important rule that is usually broken by people wearing the life jackets or the grandmas, no standing. So, watch out, y'all. All right, so, that being said, follow me down. It does get a little bit lower at the end.
Go down level. Wow. That's crazy. Okay.
Y'all are lucky you got me. All the other tour guides take like 30 seconds to go into that. We do call that rock the wishing rock, though. Not because it grants wishes, but because if y'all are knocked up, you already wish you did. So I'm glad you all did. I did. And those of you on this left side right over there, y'all might see some crawfish hanging out in the water. While y'all on the right side, you won't get a chance later on, but not right this second. Also, over on this left side, y'all see this big old rock right there? That is our first major cave formation. This is our flowstone. Anybody got any bright ideas why it's called a flowstone? Water flows down that stone. Oh my gosh. We are smarties down here. So our flowstone is formed by that same mineral that gives our water its blue color, calcite. And as the water flows over the rock, it leaves that calcite behind and grows a cubic inch every 100 years. So that's about the size of a marshmallow. It's kind of formed the same way as if you were to spill a soda, kind of leave that sticky residue in one spot. If you were to do that over and over and over again, over 100 years, it grows the size of a marshmallow. But right now, our flowstone is a very, very healthy peanut butter brown color. That's what it's supposed to be. But if y'all look a little bit above it, that is what the old flowstone would look like. A little bit darker, right? But a little bit below that, does everybody see this much, much darker color right there? So unfortunately, this is a pollution scar. So when we were Kentucky Florida's legal landfill, when we were dumping pretty much anything we could into the water, out of sight, out of mind, left us with two of those pretty decent sized pollution scars. Slowly, over time, they are getting covered up by our flowstones. They're healing. We still do have it for now. If y'all do come back a couple 100 years, might be all the way gone, I can give you a discount. Come back. Senior discount. Right. Is this anybody's first time in a cave? No way. Everyone's a pro? All right, I'll take it. It's my first time, so I'm scared. So, since everybody has been in a cave before, y'all better answer this question like immediately. What is something our cave does not have too many of that most do?
Stalagmites.
I got a couple good answers. I heard bats. What about anything else?
Stalagmites.
I heard a couple people say it. Stalactites and mites. Yeah, so, if y'all look around, we don't have any stalagmites. Not a single one. But if you look up, that is all of our stalactites. All of them are that big. And since everybody here has been in a cave before, you all are probably wondering, what the heck? Why are they so small? Yeah, so the reason that ours are so small is one, our cave crawfish, crayfish, bait, crawdad, mudbug, supper, good ones. Yeah. Yeah. We can't eat these ones though, unfortunately. It's kind of illegal.
What makes it illegal?
So it is actually illegal to remove any item from a cave in Kentucky, whether that be an animal, an artifact, or a rock. So if any of y'all try and take some rocks home, I'm gonna get you. I also did not know that was a law until I started working here. We got caves everywhere. I'm taking plenty of rocks. So those crawfish are everywhere, but anybody like spiders? Nobody likes spiders. Anybody hate spiders? Yeah, I saw the head nod as soon as I said spiders. Yeah, so lucky for you, most of the spiders that I do see are at the entrance of our cave. So you're all right. But the ones that we do have, they are the fisherman spider or the huntsman spider. The fisherman spiders, they are known to pull their prey out of the water. That's why they're called the fishermen. They're also about the size of your hand. Whoa. So the perfect size to jump on your face. Super awesome, right? They're not venomous though. They're not enough to do anything besides hurt. And I've only seen them at the entrance of the cave, so just wait for you to duck under that rock again.
I got your gun. Hit me on the head.
Not that far. So we don't have too many of those spiders, but what we do have is just as scary. Cave gator. Y'all look that easily. This ain't Florida. What do you think this is? I'm kidding. Sorry. That wasn't nice, was it? And what I am talking about though is the cave cricket. Since you've all been in a cave, you might have seen one before. They look a lot like a daddy long leg, about the size of the palm of your hand. They are known to jump 6 feet forwards and backwards. And if at any point you think you're safe, they run on water. Plus, you're all in that 6 feet jump zone. So, pretty awesome, right? Yeah. Last week, a little kid asked if he could call it the Jesus cricket. They run on water. Pretty good, right? Yeah. If y'all want to get up close and personal with those cave crickets, you can't go right over here to our emergency exit. It's where I always send the bad kids. Favorite part of the tour. If anybody does decide to stand up on the boat, be hopping out over there too. It's a great time. It wraps right back around to where our first flow stone is, but you will have to crawl on your hands and knees through crawfish eggs, some of them spiders and some cave crickets, so don't stand up. We'll get you.
Stand up.
Right above our emergency exit though, this right here is our second major flow stone. But if y'all have not noticed, it is kind of missing something. Water. Yeah, this flow stone is no longer active. So y'all can just call the stone if you want, but technically it is called cave drapery. It's because it kind of drapes over. Did everybody hear that? Did everybody sign their waivers?
Yes.
Just gotta make sure before we go back here. Did y'all read the fine print? Talked about whitewater rafting. Didn't read that part? Nobody ever does. You ready? Yes, we have.